pravico na preskoku. Težavnost bosta sodili Daniela Vargaš, Costa Rica, Vika Bušnik, Slovenia.
There is our start list for our women's vault competition. Like over on the male side, there have been some rule changes in our women's competition for this new cycle, less so than on the men's side, but a big one on the vault is if a gymnast does one forward salto and one backward salto, then they will receive a 0.2 bonus. So in vault finals, they are required to do 2 vaults with 2 different entries, so that's how they get onto the table. But if one vault ends in a forward somersault and one ends in a backward somersault, they receive a 0.2 bonus, which is a very large bonus in gymnastics terms. So we'll expect to see that from quite a few of these gymnasts here in this vault final today.
Tjaša Kysselef, Slovenia, je bila 7. kvalifikacija za 12.466 točke.
You see the coaches there switching the springboards. Some of the springboards have more springs in and are harder, and some are softer, so that is down to the preference of the gymnast. You'll also see the coach there putting a hand mat in, suggesting the gymnast is doing a round-off entry onto the springboard. And we see that blue U-shaped surround go around the springboard for those round-off entry vaults, which has been taken away. So this gymnast is warming up a different entry. Part of the reason for the Women's Artistic Gymnastics Technical Committee not making too many changes to the Coda points is because they want to increase the longevity of gymnasts' careers, and they've got a goal of seeing gymnasts competing into their 30s or 40s. And we are seeing some older gymnasts compete here in this final, which is really exciting. It's a historically young sport, so to see gymnasts into their 30s at this level representing their countries is really exciting. Here is the start list for our women's vault final here at the World Challenge Cup in Slovenia. Lots of flags in the audience. It looks like a really great atmosphere. The first gymnast represents Hungary, and it's Ilayda Balazs. Her first vault, a full twisting Yuchenko, a good landing. So the Yuchenko entry for those new to gymnastics is the round off onto the springboard. And then the back flip onto the vault. And she's shown a full twist in the air in the straight position. Slightly piked hips. Judges looking for a really straight body position in the air, so that will be a small deduction. And slightly loose form. Tiny knee bend. But a really secure landing. And it's a score of 12.866 for Kira's first vault. And it's a Sugawara in the pike position for her second vault. Relatively simple vault, but cleanly performed. Good landing. Kira qualified in 8th position with 12.466. Judges will score both vaults individually, but the total score will be an average of the two. Half on, and the pike position in the air. Slight hop back on the landing. Lands on that middle line, so very square. She was third on vault at the Hungarian Championships. Just 18 years old. Really exciting to see her in a World Cup final, and it's 12.449. She has set the bar now for the rest of her competitors. And next up from South Africa, it's Buhle Nhleko. The handspring entry into the tuck front. She gives herself a few words there, psyching herself up for her second vault. And here's that first one again, handspring into the front somersault. Just a small hop on landing. Really good height in the air. The handspring tuck front is out with 3.6 difficulty. So a simple vault, but effective if you can land it cleanly, as she has done. And it's 12.3. You'll see her execution score there, 8.7. That is out of 10, so a good execution score. And she performs a Yuchenko full twist for her second vault. So she did have one front salto and one backward salto. So she will receive that 0.2 bonus. Here it is again, round off onto the springboard, back flip on. Loses a little bit of leg form. Hops onto that line, but overall, well performed. You see the flag go up as she did hop over that left-hand side line. But she's happy with it. These World Challenge Cups are great ways to get exposure and experience for these young gymnasts. Practicing in these apparatus finals, where the pressure's on, you're the only gymnast performing at that time, all eyes are on you. And it's 12.55. She scored 12.583 in qualification, so similar score, showing consistency. Next to compete from the Czech Republic, Patricie Makovickova. Just a bit high onto the vault there. Doesn't manage to save that landing. You can see the disappointment. Such a shame. If you hit that vault table wrong, it's really difficult to recover in the second half. Round off onto the springboard, and it's a half turn onto the vault, and you can see she doesn't quite have enough pressure on her hands as she would have liked to get the height and the rotation that she needed for that second half and that pike front somersault. It wasn't far off, so I can feel her frustration. It's always difficult when you have had that mistake on your first vault, and it's most likely taken you out of those medal contention spots to then still have to perform your second vault. But 11.766 on that first vault. Let's see what she can do. And you never know what the rest of your competitors are going to do, so you still have to bring your A game to that second vault. Really nicely performed, straight Sugahara there. She was in a nice open, almost arch shape in the air. There was no doubt about that straight position. If you have slightly piked hips, the judges could downgrade it to a pike, but that one was definitely straight. Half on onto the table and stays in that lovely arched straight position throughout. And just a hop on landing. All the young Slovenian fans in the audience have got their cameras out, because next up is their very own It's great to see all these fans supporting their gymnasts, and it's 12.099 for Patricie, putting her into third for now. And next up is Tjaša Kysselef. And there's that loud cheer from her home crowd. A 1.5 to Yurchenko there, the hardest vault we've seen so far. Very well performed. Good control on the landing. Tjaša is 32 years old, so an experienced gymnast, proving that you can do this sport into your 30s. There it is, that 1.5 and just the smallest movement on landings. She looks pleased with it, as she should be. Same entry as we've seen, the Yurchenko. A very common entry in women's artistic gymnastics. Gets a good block off the top. She's had some good results so far this year in World Cup competitions. Second on vault in Doha earlier this year and third on vault in Baku also earlier this year. She qualified in 7th with 12.466. But it's a 13.233, a really good score for her first vault.
Tjaša Kysselef, drugi skok.
It's the handspring tuck front with the full twist. She went for a difficult vault there and didn't manage to secure the landing. We'll see whether the difficulty still gives her a good score, but a fall is a hallmark across the board on every apparatus, so that will be quite costly. That handspring entry, she really went for it. Slightly straight knees on the landing. Hopefully didn't cause her any pain or injury. Good technique, just not quite enough rotation. You see one of the judges noticed those straight knees and it was a bit of an ouch moment, but she did get up and walk away, which is the main thing. You can see that vault is just almost ready for competition. She'll get it next time, I'm sure. And she's grateful for the support here in Koper. .316 average. It was 11.4 on that second vault. Puts her into third at the moment. But we are at that halfway point, which means we have 4 more gymnasts to go who are just warming up. Here are the current standings in our women's vault competition. In first place, Buhle Nhleko from South Africa with 12.55. Gabriela Bou'cas in second with 12.449. And Tjaša Kysselef in third with 12.316. A really good atmosphere here in Koper, Slovenia, at the Arena Bonifica. We have got our top 3 qualifiers going in this second half, so it's going to be an interesting second half of competition to see if those results will be changed. It's always a difficult watch when you're in the medal positions and you've got more competitors to go. There's a really good mix in this vault final of experienced gymnasts versus those gymnasts who are new on the scene and just starting to gain experience. A really supportive crowd here as well, clapping for these gymnasts as they warm up. And we are ready to go in the second half. There's our start list. Kicking things off will be our second South African gymnast of this final, Garcell Napier, followed by Tijana Korent, Teja Belak and Abigail Roper. Garcell qualified in third place with 12.833. This is her first ever World Cup final, so already an achievement to be here. Let's see what she can do. The full twisting Yuchenko, but does fall and will have to take that marks deduction. As I mentioned, this is her first time in a World Cup final, so even though she'll be disappointed, it is an achievement of its own to be competing, representing her country here in an apparatus final. We call that the block on the top of the vault, that push off that the gymnasts are aiming to get. If you hit that angle wrong, it is extremely difficult to get the height and rotation that you need. She kept a straight position, which was good. Perhaps if she piked her hips down, she might have been able to save the landing and take a smaller deduction than a whole mark for a fall. But unfortunately this time it will be a whole mark. So she needs to refocus now, ready for her second vault. Some words of wisdom from her coach. It's 11.7 there, and you'll see that execution is down. It's a 7.5. It looks like she's decided not to perform her second vault. Just presenting will get her a 0, so obviously a low average, but perhaps saves her body, and maybe she's got some injuries or took that short landing and possibly hurt her ankles. So we will move to our next competitor, who was our second highest qualifier. She also earned herself a bronze medal last week at the Varna Challenge Cup. She was second on vault last year in Koper. Can she medal again? It's Tijana Korent of Croatia. Handspring, pike front half. Really nicely done. Here's a closer look. Forward entry, handspring, onto the vault, into that pike position. Opens out nicely for the half twist. And a small hop back to control the landing. That should be a good score. Can't see too much wrong with that. .36 years old, so another gymnast, proving that you can do this sport well into your 30s and continue to make World Cup finals. Not only that, as I mentioned, she's medalled already this year in Varna, and it's 12.833 for her first vault. Full twist to Yuchenko. We've seen that vault quite a few times already today. That was probably one of the highest ones in the air. She looks very happy with those two vaults. Good form. And just the smallest of movements on the landing. Slight leg separation as her hands hit the table. So judges will take off for that. But overall, a really good vault. 2 vaults to be very proud of. Hugs her coach there. That gymnast that relationship between coach and gymnast, so important. 13.199 puts her into the top spot. And with just 2 performers to go, Tijana is guaranteed a medal. What colour it will be is down to our next 2 gymnasts. And next up is Slovenia's very own Teja Belak. Starting at the very end of the vault run there, making the most of the 25-metre run-up. A difficult vault there. Front with the full twist. Made it look pretty effortless, if you ask me. She was our top qualifier with 13.633. So she'll certainly be looking to hold on to that position, and it's a good start. Handspring with the full twist. I'd say there was a bit of a pike in the hips, whether she was going for the pike or the straight. Hard to tell, but I would say judges may give it a pike. But either way, it's a difficult vault. Performed very well, so should score well. She's had some great results this year so far. was first on vault at the Koper World Cup, as well as the Doha World Cup, and she was second on vault in Baku. Definitely known for her vault. Her most memorable achievement is winning gold at the 2019 European Games in Minsk on the vault. .033, penalty there for stepping out the line. But overall, a good score. Really nicely done there. 1.5 twist Yuchenko, really good height. Just a small step on landing, but immaculate in the air. Teja proving once more, as a few gymnasts have so far in this vault final, that you can do gymnastics into your 30s. She's 31 years old and a mother of 2. So not only is she in her 30s, she's had 2 pregnancies that she's come back from, and she can still vault like that. Incredible. The round off backflip entry, 1.5 twist, really lovely form in the air. A small step on landing. Very well done. Let's see if it's enough to put her back into the top spot. Coach liked it, as she did qualify, as I mentioned, in first place. So is it enough? And there it is, 13.516. She goes into that gold medal position with just 1 gymnast to go. Our final gymnast in this vault final represents Great Britain. It's Abigail Roper. A nicely controlled full twist Yuchenko and a cheer from coach. Abigail was 3rd on vault at this year's British Championships back in March, and she qualified 4th into this vault final, so can she break into the medals? That Yuchenko entry that we have seen from most of our gymnasts here today. Glues those legs together throughout. Nice body position in the air. Nice and square, close to that middle line. She is in fact a twin sister. Her sister Emily also represents Great Britain, isn't here in Koper, but a really talented sister act. And it's 13.066 for Abigail's first vault. Handspring tuck front for her second vault. Simple vault with a start value of 3.6, but well executed. Let's see where it puts her. Quite a large hop on the landing. Judges possibly taking about 0.3 off for that. But no other notable deductions. She was also third on vault at the 2024 Welsh Championships and the 2023 Northern European Championships. So really gaining experience in vault finals. And it's enough to get her into the medals. 12.916 for Abigail Roper puts her into the bronze medal position. And there we have it, our women's vault final results. In third place from Great Britain, Abigail Roper. In second place from Croatia, Tijana Korent. And in first place from Slovenia, Teja Belak. The Women's Artistic Gymnastics Vault Medal Ceremony here in Koper, Slovenia.
Svečana podelitev medalj priznanj najboljšim dekletom na preskoku. Award ceremony Women's Vault. Medalje priznanja bo podelil predsednik Gimnastične zveze Slovenije in glavni izvršni direktor družbe PTC, gospod Damijan Kralj. The medals will be awarded by the President of Slovenian Gymnastic Federation, Mr. Damijan Kralj. Tretje mesto, third place, Abigail Roper, Velika Britannia.
In third place, representing Great Britain, Abigail Roper.
Drugo mesto, second place, Tijana Korent, Hrvaška.
In second place, from Croatia, Tijana Korent.
Prvo mesto, first place, Teja Belak, Slovenia.
And in first place, representing Slovenia, Teja Belak. She adds to her collection.
V čast zmagovalke bomo slišali himno Republike Slovenije. In honor of the winner, the national anthem of Slovenia.
She was getting a bit emotional there. It clearly means a lot to her to win the gold on home soil in front of her home crowd. There are our women's vault results. In third place, Great Britain's Abigail Roper. In second place, from Croatia, Tijana Korent. And in first place, Slovenia's Teja Belak. Here is the start list for the uneven bar final here at the FIG World Challenge Cup in Koper, Slovenia.
Abigail Roper, Velika Britannia, 7. medalna kvalifikacija za oceno.
We saw her pick up a bronze medal earlier on the vault. And first to compete here on the uneven bars, representing Great Britain, it's Abigail Roper. Starts with the Maloney up to the high bar, back down with the shoot half and back up with the Mo shoot. Nicely done. Line turn into her release element, the Jaeger in the straddle position, nicely caught. Showing good handstand positions. And the full turn into the 1.5 with dismount. Simple but very secure and clean routine from Abby there. And a very happy coach. She scored 11.933 in qualifications, which put her into 7th place. She was 3rd on bars at the 2024 English Championships. In case you're new to the sport, most gymnasts just opting for water in their spray bottles, and a little bit of extra dampness sometimes improves the grip. Slightly off handstand there as she landed on the high bar. Judges looking for a really precise line in that handstand every time, like that one. Into the Jaeger, nice shape in the air, caught with straight arms. Again, lovely through those upstart handstand positions. And into that 1.5 twist dismount, spots the ground nicely. Two finals for Abby here today and 2 clean performances. And it's 12.066, so slightly higher than her qualification and the score to beat in this final. Next to compete representing Brazil is Gabriela Bou'cas, just 16 years of age. Full pirouette at the beginning, perhaps aiming to join those together, but wasn't in the right position. But does manage to connect those 2 elements from high to low, back down to the low bar. And there's that half turn back up to the high bar. Catches her release. And the double front dismount, a step back. Difficult routine there from the young gymnast, and a very proud coach. Smiles all around from Gabriela. She was 2nd on the bars at last year's Brazilian Junior Championships. She qualified in 4th position into this final. So let's see if she can break into the medals today. So the toe on with the full pirouette. As I mentioned, perhaps aiming to join that, but it wouldn't be a deduction. She just wouldn't get a bonus for joining it. The Maloney up to the high bar, caught nicely, straight back down into the pack, receiving a bonus there. Good handstand positions in her casts. The blind pirouette into that under grip position, winding up into the Jaeger, really good height, slightly bent arms on the catch. The judges probably would have deducted a little bit for that. And that handstand there was a bit flatter than she would have liked. And slightly wide knees on the dismount, but a really Great routine, good difficulty. And she's pleased with it. 12.166, just 0.1 higher than Abigail before her. Puts her into the top spot. Next to compete, representing Turkey, Ilayda Sahin. Lovely opening combination. Showing good rhythm so far. And good in the release, few hand adjustments, but caught nicely. Full turning giant into the simple back away dismount. Perhaps watered down difficulty. She may have an injury. Don't know, but a really nice routine, and the skills she did show were really good, and obviously enough to get her into this final. She was first on the uneven bars at the 2024 Turkish Team Championship. She qualified into this final in 6th place. Here was that opening sequence. Maloney caught on a nice stretch, straight into that pack. Good leg form. She's got a lovely toe point. Top turn, back up to the high bar with the Mo shoot. Here was her release and catch. A hard one to catch completely square, so she just had to make a few adjustments. And the full pirouette, and then just into a simple back away with a tiny step on the landing. 12.133 puts her into 2nd. When you've got a watered down routine, you can only expect a certain score. She looks pleased with that. She's done the job that she came to do. Next to compete, representing Great Britain, it's Tegan Trafford. Clear hip into the toe fall, immediately into the Maloney, back down to the pack, back up with the Van Leeuwen, working well, blind, into Pike Jaeger just a little too far. What a shame, she was really working well till that point. Just had the dismount to go. No wonder she was so frustrated. She was so close to the end there. She was 3rd on bars at the 2025 English Championship, and she qualified into this final in 2nd, so she knew what potential she had, which again shows why she was so disappointed. She's just 16 years of age, hasn't had much senior international experience, so to qualify for this final, a good achievement in itself. Good work. That first half of the routine was really impressive. Great rhythm in these connections. Little loss of leg form there, but brings those feet back together quickly. Clear was that Pikes Jaeger, oh, just on fingertips. We're talking centimetres. You can see the coach knew just how close it was. And a good dismount. Gymnasts earning a bonus if their dismount is of a D or above. 11.533 for Tegan. And that completes our first half of competitors. And the current standings: in first place is Gabriela Bou'cas of Brazil. 12.166 from her. That will be the score to beat for our next 4 competitors. There are our current results as well as our start list for our second half. Kicking things off will be Gabriela Rodrigues Barbosa from Brazil. Her teammate, of course, also Gabriela, is currently in first place. Here we go, first up in this second half, representing Brazil, Gabriela Rodrigues Barbosa. She qualified in 5th place with 12.4. That score at the moment, though, is high enough to get into the medals. Starts with the Taiwan with the full turn into the Maloney. Couple of leg separations, but working with good flow. Back up to the high bar with the Van Leeuwen. Into the Jaeger, catches nicely. Oh, a great routine there with a stuck dismount. I always think a stuck dismount ends a routine really nicely and leaves a good taste in the judge's mouth. So that will definitely be a score to watch. Just 17 years old. She was first all around and third on the uneven bars at the South American Championships. And she was 5th all around at the 2024 Senior Pan American Championships. Brazil really doing well in the gymnastics world at the moment, led by, of course, Rebeca Andrade with her incredible Olympic results, really showing these young Brazilian gymnasts what they can do in their future. Good work here from Gabriela. Nice toe point throughout. Here was her straddled Jaeger. Tiniest flicker from the feet there, but caught really nicely. Half turn, finishing slightly off handstand. And that stole into the tuck front dismount, and that stuck landing. And a big smile after a great routine. And it's enough to put her in the top position, 12.266. Three gymnasts to go. Next up, representing Turkey, it's Zeynep Kurtuluş. Toe full, loses a bit of control there. Perhaps was also aiming for that connection that we've seen from some of the other gymnasts, but chooses to play it safe. Good decision, I think. Another big leg separation, but catches on straight arms. Into the Kachev. Some of these handstands not quite on top of the bar. Straddled Jaeger, and similar to what we saw from Tegan, just on fingertips, not quite enough of her handguard or hand was over the bar to hold on. Handguards that the gymnasts wear have a dowel rod in them. If that dowel rod isn't over the bar, then it's quite dangerous, in fact, to actually try to hold on. Just the dismount to go, a double tuck, really clean. Unfortunate error there. Again, as I mentioned, similar to Great Britain's Tegan, just centimetres away. She was first on the uneven bars at the 2024 Turkish Championships. Opting to wear socks, which is interesting. Not a deduction, but just unusual. We don't see that very often. And I would have thought in some of the elements where you put your feet on the bar, maybe a bit slippy, but obviously Zeynep doesn't think so. Maybe she just likes to keep her feet warm. Here was that Jaeger, and look how close it was. But as I mentioned, that dowel rod in the handguard didn't look like it was quite over the bar. If you're on a massive stretch but you have got the dowel rod over, then you can usually hold on to it. Finishes the routine with a double back somersault. Fairly simple dismount. Won't get the dismount bonus for being a D or above in difficulty, but well performed, and it's a 10.866, putting her into 6th place. Next to compete is Slovenia's Lucija Hribar.
Lucija Hribar, Slovenia.
Showing that really difficult eagle position with the hands. Hopefully we see that in slow-mo so you can take that in, because that's really difficult. Great height in these releasing catches. And the nice transition into the pack salto. So disappointing. She was swinging so well just then. You've got to go for those handstand positions, but sometimes with that added adrenaline, it can send you over the top like it did just then. Controls the handstand this time. Up to the high bar with the Maloney. Straight back down beautifully in that shoot half. Back up with the Mo shoot. Full pirouette. And into the double tuck. Beautifully stuck dismount. What a shame about that fall. She was our top qualifier and the beginning of that routine was so impressive. She's an Olympian, competed at the Paris 2024 Olympics last year. She was second on the bars earlier this year in Doha at the World Cup, and she was actually the winner on the bars last year here at the Koper World Cup. A shame she couldn't retain her title from last year, but look at that eagle grip. So difficult, and that height in that Jaeger catches on perfectly straight arms. Textbook work at the beginning of this routine, and that toe point is stunning. Again, a huge release, catches on perfectly straight arms once again, straight into the pack. Those legs are glued together, and unfortunately this is where that error came in. Just overcooked it here, going for those perfect handstands. Couldn't quite save it. We are hearing a cheer from the audience, and obviously this is her home crowd, so maybe, just maybe, the difficulty and the rest of the routine being so well performed has given her a good enough score for a medal. Let's see. Came off with a huge smile, and it's enough for first place. That just shows the quality of the rest of her work, that fall, although costly, wasn't costly enough when you've got such great quality of work. So she's in the top spot at the moment, and just one gymnast could change that, and that is Croatia's Sara Šulekić. Stolder, pike catch of there, straight out the bat with a mistake, unfortunately. She needs to now collect her thoughts and see if she can minimise errors in the rest of the routine. So as we've just seen, a fall doesn't mean you're out of the medals, especially when there has been previous mistakes from other competitors. So let's see how Sara gets on. Really nice handstand shape, holding it for a second there. There we go, catches the bar nicely this time. Great in the pack salto, lots of amplitude in her work. Van Leeuwen up to the high bar, nice form. Really beautiful toe point and leg form. Blind, front giant, gymnast having to show that second grip, so that ticks the box there for her. And a simple dismount. That was a shame about that opening error, as the rest of the routine was really clean. She qualified in third place. The scores have been a bit lower in this final, so it'll be interesting to see where she does end up. She's had World Cup medals before. She was second in 2024 in Osijek and third in 2023 in Mersin. As I mentioned, an error, but the rest of the routine was good, but a simple dismount, so I will be interested to see the score. Such great height on that release and catch. Has to control it into the upstart there, does a good job. Gets that handstand right on the top of the bar. Got hyperextended knees, which looks lovely. Simple dismount, but would have lost no points because she stuck it. And there's the score. It's 11.3 for Sara Šulekić. Puts her into 7th place. Here are the results of our uneven bar final here in Koper, Slovenia. In first place from Slovenia, Lucija Hribar. In second place from Brazil, Gabriela Barbosa. And in third place, Gabriela Bou'cas, also from Brazil. We welcome back our gymnasts for our uneven bars medal ceremony.
Award ceremony for Abigail Roper. Medalje priznanja bo podelila tehnična delegatka Svetovne gimnastične federacije gospa Teja Belak. The medals will be awarded by the technical delegate of FIG, Ms. Teja Belak. Tretje mesto, third place, Gabriela Bou'cas, Brasilia.
In third place, representing Brazil, Gabriela Bou'cas. Just 16 years of age. Undoubtedly a bright future ahead of her. Brazil just going from strength to strength in the world of gymnastics. And in second place, her teammate from Brazil, Gabriela Barbosa. Definitely two gymnasts to look out for this next Olympic cycle. And in first place, from Slovenia, Lucija Hribar.
V čast zmagovalke bomo slišali himno Republike Slovenije. The honor of the winner of the national anthem of Slovenia.
Bars medalists here in Koper, Slovenia. In third place, Gabriela Bou'cas. In second place, Gabriela Barbosa. And in first place, representing Slovenia, Lucija Hribar.